views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of Access Fort Wayne, the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting groups. If you'd like to produce a show, call us at 260-421-1250.
Let me be your lighthouse so I can show you the way. Let me be your shining light, I'll keep you from drifting away. I'm the one that makes you try when
somebody told me that you got to be lonely when you just sit and think of yourself. There's lots of worries, we're all in a hurry, just trying to be something else. You got a message from the one, you got a message, don't you? There's been a message for you. You got a message from the one up above, so that's the best you can do. There's lots of reasons we could get heavy about who's certain who and why. Nobody tells you, just gotta get through this pain in our lives, and we try. You got a message from the one, got a message, don't you? There's been a message for you. You got a message from the one up above, so that's the best you can do. Get the message. Get the message. Get the message. Get the message. Open up your head. Open up your eyes. Man in the mirror, you know he's never satisfied. Somebody told me that you got to be lonely when you just sit and think of yourself. There's lots of worries, we're all in a hurry, just trying to be something else. You got a message from her, you got a message, don't you? There's been a message for you. You got a message from the one up above, so that's the best you can do. You got a message from her, you got a message, don't you? There's been a message for you. You got a message from the one up above, so that's the best you can do. You got a message from her, you got a message, don't you? There's been a message for you. You got a message from the one up above, so that's the best.
You've got a message. This is Patty Hunter of Patty's Page. Welcome to my show. Today's guest is Mr. Brian Hyland, singer and songwriter and whatever else. Anyways, welcome to my show, Brian.
Thank you, Patty. Nice to be here.
I know. So I say, when was this You Got a Message written?
Well, I started working on that song when I was down in New Orleans, and I was down there working with Alan Toussaint.
Oh, yeah.
And it was quite a while back. Actually, it was like 1979, I think, something around there. And I just had a couple of like the first verse and the bit of the chorus, but it was just like I was fleshing out the idea. And so I played it. Actually, I played it for Alan up in his office there in New Orleans. And so he said, "Hey, I think you have something there." And so that kind of inspired me, because I was really in awe of his songwriting, and he was fantastic. Just all around musician, horn arranger, the whole thing. And so from him, that was a real compliment to me. And so I kept working on it, and it just kind of, I dropped it at a certain time, went on to other things, but it was always kind of in the back of my mind. And so I just recently just kind of revisited the song, and because I have a studio here at my house. So it's not a real, just a regular kind of that most people that write songs and have a thing like that. And so I started working with this program that I have, and I wrote some extra words to it, and kind of rearranged the chorus, verse, things like that, which is kind of like a songwriter thing, and to make it concise. And I finally got it to where I liked it, and so then finished it up, and we just put it out.
So is it a single, right?
It's a single as of right now. Now I have about 6 other songs or 5 other songs besides that, and I'm gonna put those all together, maybe with a couple of other tunes, and release that as a package. And you know how right today the music business is kind of oriented towards single songs. I think I talked to you about that before, and so it's kind of where it was back in the 1950s, 60s, where producers would go in and work on a single song. Of course, they do other songs on the session, but they would concentrate on one that they thought was going to be the one that was going to be as successful. And so I think it's gotten back to that now, because when people are streaming songs, they're just looking for a song that they like, and they'll listen to a lot of different things, and whatever hits their fancy, then that's the one they're gonna stream. And if it gets a lot of streams, then it gets action.
Do you when you stream it, do you have ads on it or something like that, so it can pay you whenever someone is streaming it?
That the services that, because it's kind of a technical thing, but like once you release the song, like we use CD Baby as like the overall thing, and then they send it to Apple Music, to Pandora, to Spotify, and there's a whole slew of other companies like that all over the world, actually. And they have some in the Middle East, and there's a lot of them, we get plays from other things, from Southeast Asia, from all, we do a lot of work actually over there in Southeast Asia. I was over in Bangkok around Christmas time with Peggy March, played over there. Nice. But all of these different places stream songs. All the the music fans are everywhere.
So how do you get your royalties then?
Well, there's a couple of different services that do that, and so that's how that happens.
So this song, You Got a Message. Is it a spiritual or inspirational? What type of theme is it, genre?
Well, I was intrigued by, when I come up with that line, a couple of lines in the song, I thought, well, this is really good, because it's like talking about self-reliance, that you have to rely on yourself, and and do the best with what you got. And that was the basic idea.
So when you first wrote it, how long did it take you to do that?
Well, sometimes it just comes really fast, and it's just I think every song is a little different, And I want to take a second here as a songwriter. I'm in a position where I've been writing songs, and I haven't ever had like a hit song that I wrote. So I'm still like a virgin in that sense of not, but I've been writing songs, and trying to, get better at it. And so it's just one of those things that a lot of people, songwriters out there, you got to keep trying.
You never stop learning. There's always something else that someone else shows you And then you say, oh, wow, that sounds great. Let's try that angle, you know. And sometimes it
Yeah.
works. And you being I'm a songwriter myself. We could basically chat about creating songs, how long it takes to write, compose, and have it sung. So take me through a song that you come up with, you think about, and what you do afterwards to get it out on the market.
Well, it's kind of a long process sometimes.
Yeah.
Like with this song, it took a long time, and I kept going back working on it. But other songs that I've done, like a couple of the ones that I'm in this package that we're going to put out,
Mhm.
they came together pretty fast. And I think each time that you are working on a song, you get an inspiration sometimes just from a guitar chord, a
Oh,
certain chord, and you hit that and you say, oh, that's nice, and you play it, and then some words might come into your head that fits with that chord,
mhm.
and other times, I might be working on a riff, like some kind of a bass riff, or I have a bass now, but before I would, just work on guitar riffs, and then I would work on that, and then I would lay that down on tape,
Mm.
or now we just, put it on the computer.
All right.
And, but those are different ways. And then sometimes you get an idea, like the song "I Want It All," which is one of the songs that we're going to put in this package, and we released that one just, I guess, about maybe 6 months ago. And in that particular song, my son Bodie, we were driving into Victorville, which is close to Victorville, California, pretty close to where we live. And we were just talking about something, and then he said, "Yeah, I want it all." And oh, that's it. That's a great title. And so I kept that, and you never know when something will strike you.
Oh boy, does it strike too. Sometimes I start writing about 10 o'clock at night and go to bed at 2. I just
Yeah.
can't let it go until it feels right.
I agree with you there. And I sometimes, it's like it's like an obsession to finish something. If you come up with something really original that you really like in the first part of a song, then your mind won't let it go, and you just keep working on it and working on it.
And then,
And that's the best kind of song when that happens, I think.
and then the next day you kind of crash. Oh my goodness. What? Yeah, that's how I feel when I write, especially when it's heavy stuff, man. Have you listened to some of my songs I sent you, or
I did, and I like the one about going away, and I forget the actual title, but
God's
sorry,
Godspeed, my love?
yes, yes, I like that one. That was a very personal and very nice.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to get that, have people look at it, and I think I should follow what you're doing, streaming and all that.
I think it's a good way to go because that's how people listen to music. Even like the fact that most people, when they hear a song the first time in the 60s or in the 50s, it would be like in a car. They'd
Yeah.
be driving with their own car or maybe with their parents, and then they also transistor radios, but that was a different thing. And so that was their first experience of hearing a song.
Mhm.
And so that was, nowadays it's earbuds.
Yeah.
and earphones. If you're on a plane, everybody's got earphones on, or they got earbuds, and that's how people experience music.
So, what does a songwriter do to create a song? From the get go, where do you get the ideas for a song? I mean, anything out there? Or,
Yeah, I think they're just out there, just ideas, and sometimes there's just ideas floating in the news,
yeah.
or not in the news, but just in the the way people, a movie, maybe a new movie, or whatever, different things that happen in the world, and and a lot of people might write the same kind of song because of that. And you know, and it's just personal experiences and your personal trip through life, and a lot of times that plays a role in it too.
So it starts out like a poem, or what? Lyrics? What? What's the difference?
You know, I've thought about that, and I don't really know. I think sometimes I think lyrics more so than poems. Maybe you know, sometimes you can have a song with lyrics and they don't really rhyme or anything, but the idea is flows out nice. And then in one part of the song, you'll have like lyrics that rhyme, or you know, like a poem where the words would rhyme, and then you know, using both of those methods. I think
Yeah.
that's
There's a
a
lawnmower.
good way to go.
There's a lawnmower out there. I hope it doesn't come too close. Anyways, um, do you write the lyrics or write the music first? Which one do you do?
Oh, I just like I was saying, sometimes I'll get a guitar riff or a chord sequence, or just even a single chord, and then sometimes with the song "I Want It All," it was just that line, and then I built the whole song around that idea, you know, and so it can be either way. It doesn't. There's no patent or you know
Yeah.
particular way. That's always the way that people do write songs.
Do you have any of your songs on film or TV or anything like that? Or
No, not yet. No.
you know,
Well, songs that I've recorded, for instance, "Seal with a Kiss" has been in a couple of. It was in a couple of movies, but I think it was a British movie,
oh,
and it was called "That'll Be the Day." I think it
I
was,
think I've seen
and they
that.
played it. They played it in one sequence, and they actually played my record of it. You know, my record of "Seal with a Kiss." So that's the cool part when you actually. Sometimes they'll you have someone else do it, or you know, or just you know. And like in the movie 1, 2, 3 with James Cagney,
Yeah.
they used Polka Dot Bikini, my record. They didn't use my record, but I don't know who it was. It was just, they just got someone to do it. And they brainwashed one of the Horst Buchholz, who was the actor. He was the male lead in that, besides Jimmy Cagney.
Yeah.
And so the Russians got a hold of him and brainwashed him, and they kept playing my song over and over again until he snapped.
Is it on YouTube? This?
That movie, I imagine, yeah, it probably is.
With writing lyrics, the words are like a symphony, or whatever it is. Symphony inside my head. It's like music to me. Words are like music, and it's like therapy. Is that like with you?
Sure, yeah. The words are very important. Yeah.
Do you like type of songs that are like have a button ending or a fade out?
I don't know. I think it just depends on the song itself. You know, some
Yeah.
songs require an actual ending, you know, and cymbal crash or whatever, and then other songs are, you know, they can, you know, with a fade out, the idea lingers, and if you do it correctly, and that's another way of getting your point across.
How'd you learn how to write?
Well, I was thinking about that last night. I was thinking of the different people in the music business that I ran into, that I respected, and that I spent a lot of time with on the road. And you know, starting off very beginning, in the very beginning, when I started doing tours, Dick Clark, a Caravan of Stars tours, used to do those a lot in the '60s. I was on a lot of those, and Gene Pitney, who's a really good songwriter, we were like roommates on the tour. We were like saving money because Dick Clark, they made the reservations at the hotels, but we had to pick up the tab. So that was a good way to save money. And Gene and I, you know, we were like roommates on those tours. And So I never actually saw him writing a song in that whole time, when we were traveling on those tours. But he had a sensibility about him that he was always busy, with an arrangement, thinking about something, what's next, what are we going to do next. And he was always onto something, and he didn't waste any time. And another person like Del Shannon, for instance,
Oh, Del.
when I wrote I wrote a lot of songs with Del, and sometimes we get hung up on something. He'd say, "Listen, there's somebody out there right now writing a song, and that's our competition. And you got to keep on it. You got to let's finish this song." And so that was a good lesson for me to just keep going.
How do you keep up? How do you keep up with the times?
With what?
How do you keep up with the present way of, people listening to different songs?
Well, I don't know. I think you just got to do it, be yourself in your songs, and if that's good enough for you, then there's going to be somebody out there that's going to respond to it.
Yeah, because I noticed that with my Godspeed. A lot of people like that, but I wrote it from the heart. So
that's the best way, and you can tell when a song has sincerity to it. There's no way of hiding that, and so that's that's one of the keys to having a song that lasts.
And your favorite song is?
Well,
Come on.
my favorite, I've thought about this, and there's a song that Peggy Lee did called "Is That All There Is?" And to me, like, I love that song. Every time I hear it, it gives me a chill, and it's just a perfect song. The way that goes in and out of the chorus and the title part, and it tells a story. And I think songs that tell a story that's useful to people, that's the best. And I love that song. It's great. And actually, it was written by Lieber and Stoller, who wrote Hound Dog, and they wrote all these songs for Elvis. And I read somewhere that that was the song they were most proud of that they wrote. So that says a lot too.
So when you do EP or CD, whatever, does it cost a lot to make? Do you have your own equipment to do that, or do you have to go outside and do?
No, it doesn't. Once you, depending on if you're using a lot of musicians on a session, that could be costly. But in this case, I'm all the musicians, so I do it all myself and with my studio. But I know people that will maybe play a couple of the parts themselves, and then they'll bring in a bass player or a drummer and lay things like that down too. And that's fine too. But the way that people do it now, it's like one instrument at a time. I don't think this, unless you're like working on a big project where you're doing something for a movie and you need the string section there, you need the horn players there, everybody in the same room doing it, and then they do it all at once, and then it's done. So that's another way of recording, and there's still people doing it that way.
Well, my Godspeed song, that cost me a lot of money to get it worked on and sung by Patricia Conroy. And
yeah, she did it. She did a great job on the vocal. I thought that was very heartfelt vocal. It was good.
Tony Lee Smith was the one who worked with it in Nashville. I don't know where he is now. I thought he was in Florida, but I haven't found him to do another song with him. But gee, it was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And when you do these songs, are they on YouTube? You're going to do DVDs of them?
Yeah, a lot of the songs that I mentioned, the 6 songs that in the last year and a half that I put up there, they're all available on through CD Baby and on YouTube. You can just click on it and it comes up. And I think YouTube is fantastic. I love the idea of that. Even if you have a problem with your computer, you just punch in, this, and this, bam, and all of a sudden you get like 6 or 7 people had the same problem, and they go through how they solve that problem. And it's unbelievable how that's a really useful thing for people.
You've collaborated with others in songwriting. Can you name but a few?
Well, for instance, Del Shannon, and there's a songwriter from Chicago, from out your way, that I was on tour with, and he was the guitar player in the band. His name is Jimmy Holvey, and Jimmy, he was the guitar player in this particular band on a tour and so we wrote about 9-10 songs on the bus every day. We would, it was just a thing. And so I recorded a couple of those songs myself. And then after that tour, him and another guy that was in the band, I think his name was Gary Beersby, they wrote a song for the Buckinghams called Kind of a Drag, which was number 1 record. And so Jimmy, he did really good. And he wrote their follow-up, Don't You Care? And he wrote another song called Susan that they recorded. And he's a really good songwriter and very, very nice guy too.
Do you compose yourself? What I mean is, do you compose for other people?
Oh, well, for instance, when I was writing songs with Del, we wrote a song called I've Got Eyes for You, and that was recorded by Waylon Jennings. He recorded that, and was on one of his albums, I think, called Cedartown, Georgia. And actually, Del recorded a version of that too. And so the songs that have been actually released, on the market, would have been ones that I wrote with Del. But the other ones. Barbara Lewis recorded one of the songs that I wrote with Del. She's a really nice person too, Barbara Lewis, and I've done shows with her, and I think she's kind of retired now from singing, but she's had a beautiful voice.
I wish I had the voice to sing. I don't even speak. Oh, I got about.
You're doing all right. You're doing all right.
Okay. Well, it's getting towards the end of the show.
All right.
Thank you for coming on to my show, Brian. I'd like to have you back on if you want to be.
Thank you, Patty.
Invited on to my show anytime you wish. And this is Patty Hunter. We'll see you next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Godspeed, my love, until we meet again. You're always in my heart and every dream. Don't let this time apart give in to all our fears. God will keep us close from up above. So until we meet again, Godspeed, my love. God is with us always.